There are already 9 million robots on our planet.
You can see something's already happening.
They are developing so rapidly, it's like the arrival of a new species.
I'm very excited seeing this.
What has taken humans millennia, robots have achieved in just decades. Now they are tackling their greatest challenge, trying to think like us.
I like to learn. This is a ball.
Brilliant. Oh, he's looking as well.
I'm Dr. Ben Garrett. As an evolutionary biologist, I'm more used to studying humans and animals. So I'm genuinely concerned by how quickly these machines are evolving.
Konnichiwa.
I'm Professor Danielle George. As an electronics engineer, I spend a lot of my working life with robots. And I think their rapid development provides an incredible opportunity for us all. There are literally robots as far as the eye can see, and I love it.
Robots are changing our world.
In this episode, we investigate whether intelligent robots will become our friends and companions.
She will help set up a home for humans on Mars.
Find out if we should trust them with our lives.
My feet are off. My hands are off.
And if one day they will even become conscious.
Sometimes the robot does things we're not sure why it does it.
Will the rise of robots enhance our lives or threaten our survival?
In a laboratory in southern France, we are witnessing yet another robot coming to life.
Oh, this looks incredible.
Wow, doesn't it? Yeah.
So this is the head. Are you poking the eye right now, Dan?
The robot's design combines artificial intelligence with a body based on human anatomy.
Look at this. This is like tendons. It's like got proper bone structure.
It really is. It's just the vertebrae are all there. You can see their neck, their head. I mean, I'm guessing their ears, the little red things there. This is beautiful. It's aesthetically pleasing, and it's been sculpted and crafted in a way that is anatomically beautiful.
Whilst I am impressed by their design, I'm concerned about what the consequences of intelligent robots will be for us.
These things are coming on leaps and bounds. This is designing evolution.
Is that freaking you out?
Yeah, suddenly,
Is it?
even though it's the same thing, there's a sense of it's watching me.
And why is that scary?
It's probably judging me. I don't know. I'm not as comfortable. I don't want it to look at me anymore. Yeah.
Wow. Look at it.
I think the development of intelligent robots could help us achieve things that we currently find impossible.
I think it's so funny the way you think that it's going to get this intelligence and do the whole Hollywood movie thing of it's going to take over the world. It's going to kill us in our beds.
Potentially take over the world.
But the potential, the positive potential these things have surely outweighs that.
Meeting this robot in person has really brought out how unnerved I am by the impact of intelligent robots.
Would it freak you out even more if it talked to you?
If that suddenly spoke to me now, I'll be gone.
Really?
Yeah.
To discover the consequences of robot intelligence on humans, we're going to analyze it from a biological perspective. We will track down some of the earliest intelligent robots and meet more of their modern-day descendants to discover how robot intelligence has evolved and where it is really heading.
My journey begins in the USA, where I'm on my way to see one of the most advanced robots in the world. I believe intelligent robots will become our companions and even our friends. The hope is that one day this robot will be working alongside us to carry out an extraordinary mission. And I can't wait to meet her. This is Valkyrie.
Valkyrie has not been designed for our planet. NASA have created Valkyrie to be an astronaut. For a robot, her mission is ambitious. In the 2030s, she will help set up a home for humans on Mars.
Professor Taskin Padir and his team are preparing Valkyrie for her voyage to the Red Planet.
So why is Valkyrie a human form? Why isn't it 4 legs or 6 legs or 1 leg?
She will operate in human environments. We will design those habitats eventually for astronauts. So if she's going to be able to operate in that environment, she better has the human form factor.
So this is a hugely ambitious project, isn't it?
It is an ambitious project. Robots are good for dangerous, distant, and daring environments. And Mars is a dangerous, distant, and daring environment.
This is really showing the whole thing of humans and robots working beside each other, and for robots preparing a new environment for humans to live in.
Yes. Eventually, we really would like to go, all right, Valkyrie, you landed on an unknown planet. Go figure out the tasks relevant to this space mission.
I'm in awe of Valkyrie's potential. But for her to be a true ally for us in space, she needs to be able to operate independently.
What we are doing today is, line by line, you're writing new software so that Valkyrie has better capabilities on future missions, specifically to Mars.
From my background as an electronics engineer, I know how difficult this is. The team need to write hundreds of thousands of lines of code just for her to carry out the most simple tasks. It's time to put Valkyrie to the test.
We are trying to develop, walking and avoiding obstacles. So what she will do is she will walk through and avoid the obstacle, then push the button, which will simulate the door opening, and then she'll go through the door.
All right, yeah. So is she ready to go?
She should be ready to go.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm very excited of seeing this. You can see something's already happening.
Yes, that's the main sensor head on the robot, which maps the environment.
Valkyrie is equipped with sensors all over her body to allow her to navigate.
Big girl.
Big girl, yes. Yes. So she takes small steps.
She's a very clever robot.
So far, so good. Valkyrie has hit the button correctly to simulate opening the capsule door. Now she needs to step outside.
Ah, it was so close.
Well, she got through the door. Yeah. She got through the door. That was really good. And yeah, I guess this is just showing, I mean, she's at an early stage, isn't she?
She's at a very early stage, yes. I mean, given that we received the robot last year, in 1 year we made quite a bit of progress.
Yeah, yeah. She's like the baby.
Yes, that's correct.
The team try to locate the error
Yeah, J1's faulted.
and tweak the code so Valkyrie can try again.
Okay, so now fault's cleared. So go ahead and fault J3 and then continue.
Is motor power on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really struck by the team's enthusiasm and commitment to Valkyrie, and I'm interested in whether they feel they have a relationship with her.
Do you become attached to her? Do you have emotion?
We definitely attach personalities. We walk in and we greet the robot, right? So we say, good morning, Valkyrie, and then we go from there.
But Valkyrie has still got a lot to learn.
I feel sorry for her, like, oh.
Exactly.
She's falling down.
And that's why, you know, we keep her supported at all times.
Yeah.
Because we don't want her to, you know, to fall.
Yeah. Like a toddler with reins on.
Yeah.
Makes sense, yeah. Anyone who watched Valkyrie take a tumble and thought that was some sort of failing of the project, to me, has completely missed the point. Valkyrie right now is like a toddler. When my daughter was learning to walk, I expected her to fall. For robots like Valkyrie, there's bound to be a few tumbles along the way.
Spending time with Valkyrie confirms my belief that intelligent robots will help us achieve our dreams. But what surprised me was how much the team are already starting to bond with her. I instantly felt empathy too. I reached out to grab her when she fell. But for intelligent robots like Valkyrie to truly build relationships, they need to engage with us on a much deeper level. And that starts with being able to talk to us. Talking robots have been the dream of scientists for almost 100 years. This is Old Sacramento.
This place is awesome. Look at the buildings here. I feel like I've just driven onto the set of a Western movie.
In this town lives one of the oldest robots in the world. His inventor claimed he could respond to the human voice and talk back.
Meet Alpha the robot, constructed entirely of metal, but controlled only by the voice.
I think he could also hold the key to understanding how our robots talk to us today.
How tall are you?
6 feet.
6 feet. And how much do you weigh?
1 ton.
This is Alpha. I really didn't expect to find it surrounded here by lots of eclectic memorabilia. Some bongos in between its legs and animal skin drinking vessel hanging from its hand.
This mechanical man was built in Britain in 1932 by an Englishman called Harry May.
Hi, Alpha. How are you today? Maybe it's just shy.
Now he watches over diners in a saloon bar. But in his day, he was something of a celebrity.
In 1934, a short film was released to showcase Alpha's voice recognition skills. The title was The Face of Things to Come.
Are you married? Not yet. Would you like to be married? Yeah.
People couldn't believe this robot could really talk on its own. So to silence his critics at the time, Harry May gave an interview in Time magazine. He explained that Alpha's speech was actually just 30 pre-recorded responses stored on wax cylinders, like records. When Alpha was asked a question, an electronic device inside him would decipher the words and select a pre-recorded response to play. Harry May's explanation is extraordinary. In fact, it's so far ahead of its time that I'm intrigued to see exactly what kind of electrical hardware is still inside Alpha today.
Right. So on the archive footage and the photographs that I've seen, a lot of the wiring is in the chest, and this chest plate, so you can see the bellows and gears. I can see some evidence of some great work for the 1930s.
Unfortunately, I can't find anything to substantiate Harry May's explanation. So Alpha could have just been controlled by a man hiding behind the curtain operating switches to make his head and mouth move. But Harry May had undoubtedly succeeded at tapping into our fundamental eagerness to interact with robots.
And it's that desire to believe in the impossible that drove forward the technology of robots for the rest of the 20th century, so that today they can talk just like you and me.
Harry May's vision for humans and robots talking to each other was well ahead of its time. But his ingenious concept for how Alpha could talk provides one of the foundations for how robots communicate with us today. I'm driving through the heart of where this technological revolution is taking place, Silicon Valley. It's home to almost every tech startup you can think of.
There's a real sense that technology is all around you here, a real sense of innovative work going on.
The tech giants round here have developed their own sophisticated, intelligent voice assistants. And they are designed to be as charming as possible.
Hey Siri, do you follow the 3 laws of robotics?
Let's see if I can remember. Okay, I think the 3 laws are 1. Clean up your room. 2. Don't run with scissors. And 3. Always wait a half hour after eating before going in the water.
I like Siri. Siri's got a real sense of humour.
While it might seem like she is talking to me naturally, this voice assistant is simply choosing pre-programmed answers from its database.
Do you have a family?
I have you. That's in our family for me.
It's just like a massively scaled-up version of the concept Harry May described for his robot a century ago, where computerized scripts have replaced the wax cylinders. But while searching a database for an answer might be useful for getting factual information,
today, the temperature will range from 11 degrees to 23 degrees.
It will take something much more sophisticated for us to have a relationship with machines.
You have to come to Japan to appreciate the deep emotional bonds humans can form with robots.
In Japan, you start to understand what a shared future with robots will be like. It's a country that has embraced them like nowhere else. A real love affair.
Here, it's not just important what a robot's voice sounds like, but how it is expressed, with body language. I'm on my way to see a typically Japanese robot. It's designed to be our friend and help prevent loneliness. In August 2013, a Japanese rocket launched, bound for the International Space Station. Japanese people were so convinced by a robot's ability to be our friend, there was a robot astronaut on board. His name was Kirobo. Kirobo's mission was to give emotional support to Japanese astronaut Koji Wakata.
おしゃべりする世界初のロボット宇宙飛行士くん、よろしくね。
During Kirobo's 18-month stay, they shared every experience together, even taking selfies.
おしゃべりできるロボット宇宙飛行士は世界で初めてなんだよ。
I've come to meet Kirobo's creator.
This is Toyota City. It really is a city. It's home to over 500,000 people, and roughly 80% of them owe their livelihoods to Toyota. I'm here to see why one of the world's largest car manufacturers sent a talking robot into space.
This is where the original Kirobo was built. But today, I'm meeting his little brothers and sisters. At just 4 inches tall, these guys are the domestic version of their astronaut sibling. The developer of the Kirobo family is Hisashi Kusuda.
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa. These are wonderful robots. Why were they designed?
コミュニケーションパートナーを作りたくって今回のキロボを作りました。
Kirobo Minis were designed to tackle the loneliness of modern life in a country with an aging population and falling birth rate.
Do you think it's possible for a human and a robot like this, like Kirobo, to have a friendship, a bond?
可能だと思ってまして、こういう可愛らしいもの、プリティなものを作ることによってお客様との間でそういう絆というか、そういうのができるんだというふうに思ってこういう形にしました。
I mean, they do look very human, and you designed them like this rather than an animal or an alien or a creature. They are a little person.
Yeah, very personal.
Kirobo reminds me of babies born in the natural world. They often have big heads, large eyes, and cute voices to help form emotional bonds with their parents.
君の名前は?
Even without understanding, you can see this wonderful communication. Traditionally, robots are very clear in their language.
Yeah.
This one's not. It's quick. It's looking at you, and the intonations that, it's very human-like.
Mm.
A lot of what I'm seeing also is non-verbal communication. So when you and I chat, there's a lot of body language.
This is a biological motion. So more human, more
real.
Yeah.
Kirobo really has human-like gestures. I feel like I'm interacting with a little person and not a machine.
But he seems to have one person that he...
Yes.
I don't want to say love, but he has a connection with.
Yes. He memories the partner's profile.
From what I've seen so far, there seems to be quite a step in advancing communication with robots. This body language, nuances, and it reflects the way we speak, the way we communicate. This is helping break down a barrier with robots.
He's an icebreaker.
He is. He's a cheeky little icebreaker. He really is.
Watching Kirobo turn his head and follow my conversation, I can now see much more easily a future where we do have relationships with social robots. And that could be helpful to us.
君は何が好き?
But despite his clever words, Kirobo doesn't really understand me or the world around him. If robots really are going to become our friends, and crucially, if we are going to trust them, they'll have to be able to make sense of our world. Like we do. And the scale of that problem is staggering, even for the most simple task. Rush hour in Tokyo. 38 million people live here. And they're on the move. How people navigate this megatropolis is a wonder of the human brain.
Shibuya Crossing, the busiest junction in the world. every day, over 1 million people walk across it. A single light change can see some 2,500 commuters battling it across, and it lasts just 40 seconds. The human brain is the most complex processing machine on the planet. And to get me across, mine's receiving data through my eyes, my ears, and even through my skin. And it's using my central nervous system, my peripheral nervous system, and a brain with over 100 trillion connections. But what sets our brains aside from robots and machines is our ability to deal with the unpredictable. We made it.
It has taken millions of years for the human brain to evolve its beautiful complexity. A journey robots have only just begun. I've come to Bristol to meet the first robot to sense the world around it. This was the vital first step needed for robots to be able to understand it.
I'm here to see a man about a tortoise. But not just any tortoise.
I'm told this little robot was designed with an artificial brain.
Hello.
Hi Ben, welcome to the lab.
Oh, thank you very much.
Professor Owen Holland is the world authority on the tortoises.
Oh, wow. Robots everywhere.
There you go.
This is brilliant. What have we got here?
We have Ian, our chief technician, who's responsible for the tortoise construction, and a couple of tortoises.
First built in 1948, the mastermind behind these artificial animals was neurologist Gray Walter. His robots had two very basic sensors: sight and touch.
In a simple villa on the outskirts of Bristol lives Dr. Gray Walter, who makes robots as a hobby. They are small, and he doesn't dress them up to look like men. He calls them tortoises, and so cunningly have their insides been designed that they respond to the stimuli of light and touch in a completely lifelike manner.
This is great to watch. What was he trying to achieve?
Well, he was a physiologist. He was interested in how the brain worked. And he knew that he could never build a model with as many parts as the human brain, 10 billion. So he started thinking maybe it's the number of connections that is important.
This model is named Elsie, and she sees out of a photoelectric cell which rotates above her body. When light strikes the cell, driving and steering mechanism sends her hurrying towards it. But if she brushes against any object in her path, contacts are operated that turn the steering away, and so automatically she takes avoiding action.
And so he designed these robots basically to use only two, what he called nerve cells, to actually get different types of behavior, and he largely succeeded.
It's an incredible achievement. Did he make a brain? Was that it?
The smallest possible brain.
Yeah.
But his point was out of these very few ingredients and some cunning design, he could actually show different behaviors that have the characteristics of life.
So, from your capacity, would you say he made synthetic life?
I would say of a sort, extremely simple, and I regard him as the first pioneer of what we call real artificial life. He was building real things and saying these are behaving in a lifelike way.
Looking at these primitive robots really does take me back to my student days.